Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you've tried brush pens and no matter how hard you try, you just can't control them, and every time you make lines they seem shaky and very unpredictable, then give this video a few moments of your time because in this guide, I'm going to show you step by step exactly how to control a brush pen. We have to be honest here. Brush pens are one of those tools that, well, they make you feel like you've never drawn anything before in your life. Like 1 second you're trying to draw a clean line, and the next second it looks like your pen sneezed all over the paper. I've been there, and I've learned a few tips along the way. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to actually control your brush pen, how to get clean, confident line weights, and how to improve your ink drawings with a few simple techniques and drills you can start using right away. Okay, first let's talk about the tools because not all brush pens behave the same. You've got a few main types. There are your conventional brush pens, which usually have a felt or synthetic tip, and these are a little bit more forgiving and they're great for beginners. Then you got your brush pens, which tend to be a lot more softer, a lot more flexible, very expressive, and they're way easier to lose control with. And then there's the big difference that most people overlook, which is the bristle stiffness. Some brush pens are stiff and they snap back really quickly and they're easier to control. Others are really soft and those can feel like you're trying to draw with a wet noodle. And if you're struggling with control, start with a slightly stiffer brush pen. It gives you more feedback and makes it way easier to learn pressure control. Okay, so now let's actually talk about how to actually grip your brush pen. This is something I don't really see covered in any other videos. And you don't need years and years of monk-like devotion and practice. You just need to find the right hand grip for you and your style. Then let loose on a few drills, and this will catapult your mind-muscle connection. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is practice 3 different hand grips. Grab your brush pen in 3 different ways when you're doing these next drills that I'll be talking to you about. The first grip is what I call the thick stroke grip. Keep the meat of your pinky side palm on your paper along with your full pinky. Now loosely grab the middle of your pen and it should be at about a 45-degree or greater angle. This grip will give you very thick meaty lines, perfect for adding in lots of ink. Okay, now the second grip you're going to work on is what I call the all-purpose grip. You will also keep the meat of your pinky side palm on the paper along with your full pinky, but now curl in your pinky a bit more and decrease the angle of your brush pen slightly to about 25 to 30 degrees. This will automatically make you choke up the pen a tiny bit closer to the tip. This grip will give you thinner and more fluid lines, perfect for almost all line work that you need to do, including getting in some detail. Not all details, but some details. Okay, now let's go over the last grip you need to get in those mouse hair thin lines. I call it the super control grip. You're going to need to really choke up on that brush pen, keeping it almost vertical and control it with an almost fully clenched fist. Now don't white knuckle your pen, but you do need to keep your fist balled up and your pen near vertical. Alright, so now that you know the awesome secret brush pen grips that I use, and if you observe closely, you'll see other artists use them as well. Let's get into the drills you'll be using to build confidence with your brush pen. First is to draw straight lines across a paper. Then curve lines. The S curves will focus on smooth movement. Remember, not speed. If your lines are wobbly, you may actually need to speed them up a little bit. But remember, you're training control, not racing the pen. The second drill you'll be doing with these 3 grips is pressure ladders. Okay, now let's talk about the biggest skill you need to develop to learn how to use your brush pen. Pressure control. This is what gives you thin, thick lines as you move the pen. This creates a line that goes from thin to thick. If your line suddenly jumps from thin to thick, it means you're pressing too fast. You want it to feel controlled, like you're easing into it. I want you to draw a series of lines that go thin to medium to thick, over and over. This builds muscle memory and it builds finger dexterity. All right, so now the third drill is to draw small shape fills. And this will work best if you use all three grips together at their perfect timing. This drill is where you bring them all together. You draw small boxes, small circles, small rectangles, small organic shapes, and then you fill them in with controlled strokes. This helps with both precision and consistency with all three grips. Remember, a big part of this is finger and hand control. In this drawing that I'm doing, I'm using every single grip that I'm mentioning. And as you can see, I'm switching through one grip to another grip, back and forth. And the more you do it, the more you know which grip to use. Plus, you'll see that I'm always rotating the pen. This is a pro tip. Rotate your pen often to keep a very sharp point. Second, the heavy to light stroke. Start thick, then lift your pen as you move. This is what gives you those clean tapers at the end of the lines. This is super useful for things like hair, folds, and dynamic line work. Third is consistent pressure lines. Try to hold the same pressure throughout the stroke. This is harder than it looks, and it's actually one of the best ways to build control, because if you can't control a consistent line, you won't be able to control any line variation either. So now here's something that will instantly improve your brush pen work. So you must understand where thick and thin lines are supposed to go. So many people just vary line weight randomly, but there's a simple method to knowing where to place your thin and your thick lines. Thicker lines usually go in shadow areas, on the underside of forms and where forms overlap. Your thinner lines usually go in lit up areas, on top facing surfaces and on sharp edges that catch light. So instead of thinking, where should I press harder? Think this: where is the shadow on this form or object? Your line weight should follow the light. That's what directs your brush pen pressure. At the end of the day, getting better with a brush pen, it comes down to one thing. You gotta be consistent and you gotta focus on these drills. You gotta focus on practice. Just get in about 10 minutes a day and you'll watch how quickly you gain that technique and muscle memory with your brush pen. So if your brush pen feels out of control right now, it's normal. It just means your hand hasn't caught up yet. So give it some time. Gotta stay consistent and focus on control over speed. And if you want to improve your ink drawings and line work, I have other videos that will be popping up on the screen over here, and they should help you with your brush pen. So all I want to say, thank you all for getting this channel to 1,000 subscribers. You all are the best supporters anybody could hope for. And I'm even more motivated to give you all even better illustration content. So thank you all, and God bless you. Let's keep creating for His glory. And next time you pick up a brush pen, try not to sneeze all over your drawings. God bless you, and I'll see you in the next video. Hope this helped.